I just realized I'm muted. Sorry. I need a motion to come into open session. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Iveyne, and seconded by Board of Finance member Deb Iannacido, and for the record, it is 6:45 PM. So the motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, so we are in open session. There being no action required at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Anderson, seconded by Councilman Oliver, and for the record, it is still 6:45 PM. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries, and this joint meeting is adjourned. And Heather, help me. Is this the same call number for the regular Board of Finance meeting?
Yes, it is.
All
Yep.
right, so I guess the council members can sign off,
Okay.
and or you could stay on if you want to watch the Board of Finance meeting.
I'm leaving, Mayor. Good night.
Thank you, Judge. All right. So let's go right into the regular meeting of the Board of Finance. For the record, it is still Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. It is now 6:46 PM. Do I have a quorum of the Board of Finance? I do. So Board of Finance members present and attending via Zoom are Christopher Anderson, Deb Iannacido, Wendy Traub, and James Wright. So that is a quorum. With that said, I'll move into item number 1. I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. And second by Ms. Iannacido. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anyone from the public wishing to address the Board of Finance at this point in time? Hearing none, seeing none. Moving into item 2, I'll entertain a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes from October 15th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, and seconded by Mr. Anderson. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to item number 3. I will entertain a motion to authorize it says reimbursement and this on the agenda item, but it is actually payment. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the payment of $16,835 to SLR International Corporation using the contingency account funds for fiscal year 24-25. City Council did approve this yesterday, the November 18th. And this request is further explained in the Economic Development Director's memo. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson,
Second.
and seconded by Mr. Wright. And are there questions? I think that I would only add that that the requirement or the need to engage SLR for these services was so that the Economic Development Office could prepare a well-written, a comprehensive grant request to DECD. So these were not budgeted funds. They were unexpected. This grant kind of presented itself and we didn't want to miss the opportunity. So that's the reason we're going into contingency if the board so agrees. If there are no questions, calling the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, I will entertain a motion to approve the budget transfer request for FY 24-25 as further described in the Manager of Budgets letter dated November 6th. This, of course, has been approved by City Council.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Iannacido. And questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, I'll entertain a motion to accept performance reports for the City of Torrington.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. I heard Ms. Traub and Mr. Wright. questions or comments on the performance reports? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving into item 6, I'll entertain a motion to accept the Board of Education budget performance report. Did we get one?
Do we have them?
We didn't get one.
Didn't get one.
Didn't get one.
No.
And to Heather, you did reach out to the board and request that, correct?
Yeah, yes, I asked Olivia, who was covering, I guess. And I reached out to Donna. So Donna Labby.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So just for the Board of Finance, as you may already be aware, the business director for the Board of Education is no longer working for the Board of Education, and Donna Labby, who was their grant writer, has stepped into the interim position. So, all right, so then I guess what I'm really looking for with item 6 is a motion to table the item number 6. Do I have a motion to table?
I'll move the table.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Second.
Second by Ms. Iannacido. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, item 7, I'll entertain a motion to consider business by department heads.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rupp
Second.
and Mr. Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Yeah. Olivia, do you have anything that you wanted to add this evening on the regular agenda, or your staff?
I mean, I could give the status on the audit. I don't know if that,
Yes.
okay, so everything is all set. With the audit, they've already gone through like their technical review process. The biggest thing that is holding up the audit right now is basically legal letters, both on the Board of Ed side and our side for the health insurance aspect of things, and to get those opinions. But other than that, we are all set. So that would be the only thing holding us up and not issuing before 12:30. Before 12:31. So that's
Take care in a
good.
minute.
And then we did get a new staff member for accounts payable, which is really good because we've been needing that for a while. So she just started on Monday. So
Great. Any questions for Olivia? Erica, anything to add this evening?
No, Mayor, thank you. Just that we're happy to almost be back to full staff.
working on it.
And I think that I'll just add, it has been a lot of years since we were at a point with an audit to be able to say, we think we're going to get this one wrapped up before December 31st. So that really is something that should be celebrated, because Olivia has done an incredible amount of work to keep this on track. And obviously having a budget manager position, something new for us this year, really was such a critical piece of being able to allow that work to happen seamlessly. So when they say about getting full staffed, I would say full staff, that really is going to make an incredible difference on many functions in that department. So
Great job.
yeah. Heather, anything from the city clerk's office?
nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay, all right, then we're gonna move into item 8. I'll entertain a motion to consider business by mayor and members.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rapp.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, anything else this evening, Mr. Anderson?
Oh, where to start? Could you kind of catch us up with where things stand after last week? I mean, my understanding, just talking around the town, is we're going to have to look in the next budget to replace some of the machines that our registrars are using. There was some question about whether or not we had either a budget gap or just a lack of understanding for some of the technology that you can use to scan in documents instead of hand keying them. I mean, we're the finance council, like we're not going to get into any department's business, but at the end of the day, the number of votes cast has to match the number of people that showed up that day. And if it was a system error or an equipment error that led to the final signed, sealed registrar's report, excluding some of the overseas ballots, I mean, we have to make sure that our departments have all the equipment and technology they need.
No, I think that's an excellent point. So so many things that were unique to this election cycle, starting with early voting to brand new registrar voters, neither of which are yet certified, a brand new clerk in the registrar's office, a lot of new poll workers, more poll workers. Some of them receive training, but when you're being trained on something, you know, that is so foreign to you, you don't really understand what that training means. You almost have to experience it once and then get the, you know, the retraining so that you're able to go into that better. A lot of missteps, a lot of opportunities to be better, stronger, finding better ways to secure the ballots, you know, finding better work environments so that people that are doing same day registrations, which was another astronomical number of people that were coming in to do same days, you know, creating a better workflow. All of this is on the table for discussion. I'm calling this a hot wash. I've asked the registrars, the deputy registrars, the clerk, the city clerk, the assistant city clerk, who was right there witnessing all of this stuff as it was unrolling, and the chairman from both the DTC and the RTC, to the table to talk about, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because yes, there were good things about it. There were poll workers that were off the charts, exceptional. I watched them do recounts. They were just incredible, brilliant, you know, professional people. And there was ugly, you know, there's no excuse for finding a box of unopened ballots. Now, how does that happen? So, you know, also identifying, you know, as I say, the workspace. It all has to flow. If everything is going to happen on the second floor in the auditorium, we have to identify those office spaces that become swing spaces that can be locked down and better activated. So, Mr. Anderson, I think from your CPA accountant hat, we know that process, a good process gets you a good result, you know, and I do think that there's a lot of room for improvement in the process.
How much of that is driven by statute and how much is our internal procedure book? I mean, do we have like a how-to manual for that department?
Yeah, you know, I think it was all institutional knowledge. You know, Joe Corturo trained, you know, Carol Anderson, you know, and we had registrars, Millie and Bobby Waldron, you know, Nance Galicio, you know, all that institutional knowledge. They just, you know, they'd been dancing together for so long. They knew everybody's roles and responsibilities. You get a lot of new people that don't know how to dance, forget how to dance together. But I do know that there are statutory requirements that in Torrington, historically, we did better. You know, statutorily, it was okay for the head moderator to sign off on this report and get it filed. In Torrington, the head moderator did all of the, you know, the numbers and the calculations, and then handed it off to the city clerk, where the city clerk would verify and city clerk would sign off on it. Statutorily, you're not required to do that, you know, but locally, on the local level, I think those are discussions that need to be had. If we want to be better than the rest of the state or the rest of the country. So in this hot wash, I fully expect that the discussion of a policy manual, procedural manual will be a part of that discussion. Because we don't really ever want to be in the position we are right now with 2 recounts.
Thank you for that. And I imagine I'll just look for a little bit extra money there.
Yes,
We'll find it under a rock somewhere to make sure that they have the support they need to make sure
Yeah.
this never happens again.
never.
Thank you.
You know, and the technology piece of it is going to be a part of the expense. You know, the personnel is the other part of the expense because this was a presidential election. There were an extraordinary number of ballots cast. Next year is a municipal election. We probably won't see that many voters that come out for that. Maybe. I mean, it would be nice if we did. But, you know, good solid procedures, good solid policies should give us a good result. I will also say that from my own observance, I also think it's really important to have a PIO that speaks to the press, you know, that speaks on behalf of the registrars, because, you know, we had these rogue registrars, you know, on the radio the morning after the election saying something, standing in front of cameras on the evening of a recount saying something else. And I think nothing undermines public confidence more than conflicting or missed messages. So I would also think that a PIO would help solve some of that, speaking with one voice.
Thank you.
And it isn't going to be me. So thank you. Miss Inacito, anything this evening?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Mrs. Traub?
I'll be brief. I'm exhausted. I just want to, it's point to the public. Every time we have federal money coming in, whether it was from COVID, ARPA funds, things like that, we are seeing things in the news. We heard of, I think it was Enfield, had to, lay off a whole bunch of teachers because they ran out of their federal funds for something. Then we reading about the Department of Labor now is supposed to be letting go a certain number of positions because that funding, the reason they were hired, obviously, and that funding is now, going away. And I think it's important that anytime we have a discussion as a city, as the Board of Finance, as the taxpayers, that money is not free. Money that does come from the state or the federal government to help in a certain situation, whatever that situation is, that money is not permanent. And we have to be very cautious when we decide to utilize that money for product, services, or personnel, that at some point the money is going to dry up. And I think what happens most of the time is we get really comfortable with what we've purchased or what people we've hired, and we don't want to let it go of that after the money goes away. So I just, people read in the newspapers, I'm seeing quite a few articles, obviously, that money is all drying up now. It's all going away. All of these towns, all of these different boards, all of these different departments of the state of Connecticut are now reeling from the fact that they're just realizing that, hey, we don't have that money anymore. And now we have all these people, or we've purchased all this stuff. So I just like to say, going forward, as a city, we try to do our best, right, to be prudent when we know that there's money coming in for a short period of time, to be very careful what we spend that money on, realizing that if that money flows away, then it's up to the taxpayers of the city of Torrington to make up that difference.
Points well made. Yeah. For us, we look at those grant funds as, those opportunities for those one-time investments, a capital improvement lasts a lot longer and doesn't become a burden to the taxpayer. So, but worth saying it in public so that the taxpayers understand that's always been our methodology. So, all right, Mr. Wright, anything this evening?
No, thank you. Plenty to process, plenty to unprocess.
Yeah, I know. So with that said, there being no other business before the board, other than wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Thank you, Mr.
Second.
Anderson. And second by Ms. Inacito. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you, guys.
Bye.
Aye.
Bye.